This conference will now be recorded.
In existence for 38 years.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Clue Estate Trading Frank. It's approximately 8:34 p.m., 4 minutes fashionably late, New York time, on September 19, 2019. 999. Not 888, but 999. A very important, critical date for the markets. On that note, we shall begin. This is a strategic midweek, delayed by 1 day, webinar where we're going to attempt to articulate and forecast what the markets are going to be doing and cover a couple of very important trading points for all serious and focused traders who are hell-bent on making money regardless of what happens with the markets. I'm getting a lot of texts and Instagram DM, so I am going to ignore all that because my responsibility is to my members and traders who are going to be listening to this webinar whenever they can, hopefully before the market starts tomorrow. Full disclosure, I apologize about the noise in the back. That's Bloomberg TV, which covers everything that's happening in the Globex markets 24/7. So I do apologize for that. I just muted that. So the session will be recorded, uploaded to the Google YouTube channel, Clue Estate Trading, for everyone else to view. For anyone out there with the internet connection, as I like repeating over and over again, they can listen to our webinars and actually join us as real members to get real-time alerts on our private Twitter feed. And in order to join us, just go over to cluelessate.com and sign up as a free trial or a gold member, gold or platinum member, whatever the case is. So that's it. On that note, full disclosure, this is purely for financial education, not for any solicitation or advice, and we shall begin. I will attempt to keep this very tight, which I always fail. Most of them run anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, but let's hope that I can do it within 30 minutes. So let's cover that. I just want to show you the power of Clue Estate Trading tonight on a testimonial from somebody from a couple of years ago. We are new in the business of subscription services. My real income is my own money, not the subscription money from a trading service. And this is somebody who put out a testimonial where they put $500 to 125,000. I have no clue how that happened. I do know how that happened because their biggest trades were Twitter, Facebook, and such back in the 2014-2015 period. There is nothing different about the markets right now. There are Rokus that can go up 25, 30 bucks, and we got in at the bottom tonight. And if you manage your trades right, you're going to get a 300 to 400% return on your money, depending on how much you put in. So this is beautiful. And read it. And he mentions all the stocks that he bought based on my recommendations. I didn't make that. I trade with much bigger sums of money, so I tend to take profits earlier, which is the biggest bane or mistake that a trader does. And I am guilty of that. I'm guilty of that. But this man put out $500 and he kept on going, and he puts in dates, and everything is recorded. Everything is there on my archive. Okay? Oops, sorry. Long story short, I continue to trade and follow his ideas. Twitter, Tesla, that's one of my dogs in the back. He's like, yeah, I'm excited. I get the finest dog food in the world, right? Facebook Priceline, which is called booking.com right now, which I recommended at 2 and change, which went to almost 9 or 10 bucks. The lottos, you know that, recently in the past week. Small account, barely over 500 into 125,000, barely over 3 months. Since then, Clue has continued to make amazing calls, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'm not saying this to beat my chest. I'm just telling you shit happens in the market. Okay? The volatility in the market right now can garner you huge gains. Small money can get big, but you have to step in. The more we sit aside, the more you will lose by not being in the game. There are big things happening. So I'm going to close this out right now, okay? Just want to show you that. That's a real testimonial. So there are big things happening right now. Everybody's saying markets are the peak, blah, blah, blah. We're always like scaling in, scaling out, blah, blah, blah. We're all guilty of that. But the fact is, excuse me 1 second. But the fact is, the underlying breadth in the market wants to go higher. Mike Santoli on CNBC is probably one of the smartest guys out there who actually mentions this stuff at the end of the day. The rest of the morons mean nothing. We used to say on Wall Street back in my days when I first started, by the time the news is reported, it's over. Or what are financial reporters? They report news after the fact. At Clue Real Estate Trading, we are in the business of making the news before it happens. So that's it. All right, guys? So I got a lot of things happening on these 3 monitors that I'm looking at. This is one of my second trading computers running on 32 gigs of RAM. That's heavy duty power. That's like a Mustang or a Lamborghini with 650 horsepower to the wheels, right? So ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. We've got a big thing coming up. Every day is a big thing coming up. We had the Fed come in and lower rates. Markets fell, right? Markets fell. The markets rose. And this is what the market looks like. This is your picture of the overall market, the S&P 500. Remember, we're long 300, 301 calls. We're going to get to 3025. We're going to get there. I'm going to, like they say, like I said always, Dick Tracy, a man without an opinion, man or woman without an opinion, is no man or woman. If you don't have the conviction, then just don't trade. Trading is for brave warriors, people who like to take risks, especially options trading. Today was like a sell day. But where is the positive divergence? I know if we had people here. Hi, Sue. Can you hear me? So it's a beautiful summer evening. I don't blame anyone for not being here tonight, but everyone's going to hear this. I'd like to put my voice, my opinions on the line. That's the way I am. It doesn't matter what's happening with your family. It doesn't matter what the bills are. It doesn't matter if you got a speeding ticket. It doesn't matter if your tax bills are too high. Focus. Hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you? You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, just want to
Thanks.
say hello to you. Nice hearing your voice, ma'am.
Thank
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Anytime, anytime. Sue has been a loyal member for a long time, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. So,
Thank you.
so absolutely. And Sue, where you located?
LA.
Oh, you're in the West Coast. Okay.
Yeah.
So I am directly opposite from you, New York City. And I was on a 15-mile bike ride, came back earlier on, sat there, just watched the view, from my house and also from my neighborhood. It was really nice. So that was good. Okay, so um, getting back to technicals. This is a real chart of the market, not what CNBC tells you, not what Fox Financial News tells you, not what Bloomberg tells you. This is the depiction of the market in the real self. So when you look at it, the uptrend is intact. And this is the daily chart. We had a doji today. This is the red line. Always have to understand candlesticks. I live and breathe candlesticks. It is if you read the history of candlesticks, it was devised by the Japanese farmers back in the 16th or 17th century, okay, to measure the length of the rice or wheat stalks. I'm serious. Stalks, not like stocks, but the length of the actual stalk. STALKS. And I read that a long time ago. I'm like, wow. And Fibonacci levels and all that stuff that I showed, that was devised by an Italian mathematician. So these are amazing things. You see, if you can get beyond the price movements and get into what I explain, what I teach, and into the candlesticks and stuff, you will never, ever be that scared or worried. Worried? Of course. Scared? No. So that's, I'm just trying to teach things that I've taught myself, and that's the reason why I'm here, where I'm here. Okay? So, draw the line. And what's important is to draw these lines where they meet mathematical objectives. What does that mean? It means that it has to meet certain points. Here, 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 here. It has to be straight lines. It cannot be curvy lines where it just goes like this, right? No, it has to be mathematically precise. So saying all that, this is an uptrend. No question about it. Right now, futures are up about 2 points, Globex futures. Look at the Bollinger Bands. I just want to keep this thing simple. Things I've taught myself over the years after leaving Wall Street. And I was never a great technical trader when I was Wall Street because I was not a trader. I was managing institutional and very high net worth retail money, which is $500,000, million, 2 million for people. And for the institutional clients, it was a lot more, 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 million. My team did, and I was involved with that. And I was probably one of the smart guys who actually called the shots. I'm always a risk taker. That's why I options trade. Now, you have to realize you have to be a risk taker. Trade with limited money, always have cash on the side. You've seen how many times I've said buy the market when the market looks like shit, excuse my French. And then what happens over the next 48 hours? It goes way higher. It is not just my gut feeling, which is part of it, which is part of the formula. It is part of the technical gut feeling. So saying all that, let's get down to it. This is a doji that happened today. This is where we are right now. It is very obvious, unless a black swan event happens. What's a black swan? A black swan event is something that is unquantifiable. Something happens. China says, F you, we're walking away. Couple of tweets from President Trump, and he says, that's it, I'm closing down the deal with China, which I don't think will happen. Market falls 300 points tomorrow morning. I wake up at 4, 5, and 6 just to check the futures. Then I fall asleep. I take my dogs for a walk. I have 3. And then I get into the machines to look at my charts around 8 a.m. I start posting around 8, 8:30. So I have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow morning. But technically, I have an idea. We have a upper Bollinger, and please focus on Bollingers. Let's keep it simple. I'm about simplicity. The best artwork is ever done is simplicity, not complexity. Look at the Bollingers where it's going. It's telling us 3065 on the E-minis, which is around 3060 or so on the SPX. Look at the trend line telling us we're okay to go. Uptrend lines are intact. Look at the 50-day moving average. Still moving sideways. I would love it to go like this. And I believe in a China deal, it will do that. Sue, is this making sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. And say it from your heart, not just to, thing. Because I know you're a straight, very like tough person. So, So, and this line, which is the 34-day line, I'd like it to curve up. Now, for these lines to curve up and stuff, they don't go like this in one day. Unless we have a 700-point up day on a China deal, that's a different story. They take time. Now, what I'd like to present, which I've said many times, that in between these 2,000-point drops in the market, 800-point drops, and this was a range that we traded very effectively. And then we broke out. Then we broke out on the first week of September. And this is the range we're in right now. The upper end of the range is 30-30. That's what I want to focus on. Now, what does 30-30 mean? For people who are trading SPYs, the 301, 302 calls are going to generate a significant amount of money. And the Boeings and every other component of the Dow Jones Industrial Average will tend to gravitate towards that level. Now, if you break 30-30, that's when this beautiful number comes into play. It's a beautiful number only if you're set up in this zone. And by the time it hits the upper end, big, 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 fat sell programs are going to come into play. That's how these markets work. This is not an emotional market. I would love to be as emotional as possible. Oh my God, I love this, it's going to go high. No, it doesn't work like that. Treat your trading as a business. Wait for 1 second. And these moves are substantial. This range itself is substantial, 40, 60, 80% on the SPY calls. But if you look at the picture, it's looking good. 1, 2, 3, 4, trading range. Boom. That's a bull flag. Upper end of the bull flag is this. So let's stay long. Now let's take a look at the internals. Forget the volume for a minute. This is starting to come down, the stochastics. I don't like it. McLaren, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. MACD, wow, I love it. Technicals are a weird thing. It's something you have to get focused on, and you have to, it's a discipline. It takes patience, it takes frustration, whatever, but you have to believe in the technicals. The histograms are going down, and the stochastics are going up. I'll go with the stochastics. Where things get really frothy is over 30. Where are we right now? 24.47. I'll take it. It's a bet. Everything you do in trading is a bet. So my poker bet on this is short term, couple of days, the market wants to go higher. Now, what's dependent on the whole thing, well, the markets can basically reach those levels that I'm showing you is an external factor away from technicals, which is the Chinese-US trade talks ongoing as we speak. Late night, 8:55 p.m. right now, 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m. The Chinese junior negotiators are speaking to our people, and that to me is positive. It's like when you have a family fight, right? It happens in families. Families are the same thing as nations. But you're talking. You're talking. That's what they're doing right now. So you have to have a bullish bias. I do. I believe the Chinese are serious. They're here in Washington, D.C., having some great steaks, saying, I love America. Let's cut a deal. And the Trump administration loves the Chinese internally. Internally. He'll never say it. Trump's biggest investors in his buildings are the Chinese. I should know it. I'm not Chinese, but I'm New York. I know it. So what's he going to do? Say, just go away, get a return ticket? Hey, it can happen, but I don't think it's going to happen. So this is good. Okay, enough of this chart. Any questions, Sue? This I like. Okay, I am into visual trading. I'm a pretty simple guy. All right. I am a very smart guy with the markets, understanding the dynamics, but look at this chart. This is where we are tonight with futures up about 2 points. I will just draw a simple line. Okay? Choose pen color blue. What is important about trading is discipline, which we all lack. Sue, are you there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. So I'm just getting a little feedback from the person who's here, so that's why I asked you. So you look at this bull flag. That's a bull flag. When that much money goes in, that's almost $2 trillion that goes in the market since the big drop, right? Since the 26th of August. You don't need to be a hardcore technical analyst to figure out, like, look at those bars. Those are hundreds of billions of dollars that went into the market. And now things are starting to slow down a little bit. So what does that tell you? Unless we have a major move down and the big uptrend line that I've drawn comes into effect, the markets are fine. These are trillions of dollars that went into the market. And yes, individual stocks will do whatever they do. And now we're doing this. It's mostly green candles. Green, 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 big, fat green. Even this is green. So why are we so bearish? We all wake up in the morning saying, oh my God, what's going on? Futures are down 9. Think in your head. You need to remain bullish. That is the hardest thing you can do. When this was happening, it was all red, and we still made money in the middle. But look at what is happening now. The Trump administration and Mnuchin should look at my chart. In fact, I'm going to tweet out real Donald Trump and say, check out Clueless Trading, what we say. I love President Trump's business policies. Yes, I disagree with some of the garbage that he puts out there. This will be on record, right? They'll attack me? Like, okay, fine. Okay. So, yes, the business policies are great. Now, something else happened, which I showed very clearly, which the reason why this happened. Sue, what is this?
The circle?
These two lines right here. I know it's a circle. Come on, stop being silly.
Yeah.
I know. I always talked about it. The orange line is what?
Bullish alignment. They're
Yes, it's a bullish alignment, and let me help you. Thank you for answering. That's the 34-day moving average. Okay, the 34. I talk about it all the time, right? You remember that? The
Yes.
34. This is the flat lining. I'd like it to turn up. I mean, really like it to turn up. The 50-day moving average. But look what happened. It is a bullish alignment. Thank you for saying that. It is a crossover. So let me clean this out and show you all. This is a crossover. This is a crossover. And remember, I'm a simple technical guy. I learned technical analysis from a bunch of big shots, because I've mentioned many names. I won't say anymore. Okay. But then I adapted to my thing. This is pivotal. What does pivotal mean in English? It means it's something worth looking at and acting on. This is important. The 34-day moving average crossed over the sidelining or the side moving 50-day moving average. I love it. This is important. So what does it mean? It's going to be straight up. The last time it happened was, this was the down. This is the opposite. Where the 34-day moving average crosses down. What happens to the market? Falls. 34-day moving average moved down. What happened? The market went nuts. Now the 34-day moving average, in between all the intraday garbage that we have to deal with. I hate volatility, by the way. Okay, you guys know that. I say embrace volatility. Yeah, it's like embracing the worst husband, wife, girlfriend, or adopting the worst dog that's going to eat your cat. That's volatility. I don't like volatility, but I deal with it. So this crossover is very important. And what will be really important is over the next week or two, and I believe it's going to happen, we are going to see the 50-day moving average starting to curl over. That's when you want to put some serious money in the game. This is looking great. Now, what else is nice here? Sue, this red line here is called the mid-Bollinger. Is this moving up or down?
Moving up.
Yeah, and one should be excited because this is your Bollinger Band. Bollinger Bands are very important. They are all related to price. There are traders I knew from years ago, when I wasn't even trading, other than understanding stocks and stuff back in the mid 2000s, early 2000s, and I has to be a lot more aggressive because I really couldn't trade at my firm because of compliance reasons. That's one of the reasons I left. The other reason I left is because I wanted to see my son grow up. And in 2010, my son was around 10 years old. And I said, you know what? Do I really want to be working 12, 14 hours on Wall Street, making really good money, or should I spend time with my son as he grows up? And you know what? I said no. let me see my son grow up. Let him yell at me, and in the tennis lessons cry, and the piano lessons he was really good at, right? And now he's big into cars, and he still yells at me, but I'm still here. That is the essence of trading. As an independent trader, that's why I want everybody to be an independent trader. Spend time with your family because that's the only thing that matters. The rest of it is just money. Money should have a purpose. If you don't have a purpose, you will lose. Do you agree, Sue?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Okay. I got, if you just chase money, it's not going to make you happy. If you chase your family, if you chase your performance, it'll make you happy. That's what we do at Prudent Estate Trading. Okay, so good things are happening here. We are seeing the red line, which is the mid Bollinger, about to cross the 34-day moving average. I like that. What I really like is the 50-day moving average, and that's dependent. That's dependent. Futures are up about 2.5 points right now. Means nothing. Let's see what happens tomorrow morning. When I take my first walk with the dogs around 5:30 in the morning, 6. And anyone who's a pet owner knows, no, but it's beautiful weather, so I don't mind. So I want the 50-day moving average to move up like that. And when the 50-day crosses the 34-day, ladies and gentlemen, we are early in the game and we're still doing well. You need to really put some real money in when that happens. End of story. Now, let's take a look at a couple of stocks. Now, this is the IWM. I know we're buying low from 60 cents, 70 cents, $1, and all that stuff. Whoops, I just looked at my other computer. It said it crashed. Great, must be the volatility. So this I don't like. Now, am I going to keep on buying the internals? I mean, buying the IWM? Yes. Why? Because of this. And this is for everyone who's an IWM trader. We're in the pennies. I bought the 159s. I'll keep on frigging buy them as long as this stays green. Okay? IWM is US small caps, made in USA. The reason why it was down, I can look at a couple of reasons. Banks were kind of flat, whatever. I particularly don't like this pattern, but I will not be a complete seller of it because I know the volatility in the market. I know how quickly they can turn, but I will sell my losses below 155. That's all. Gotta win some and lose some. All right? But that's the way I'm looking at it. To me, this, and Sue will answer the question. So get ready, Sue. What is this pattern?
Cup of handle?
Oops. Do you like having tea?
Sure, why not?
No, not
No.
why not? But green tea and a good Indian tea is very good for the health, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. No, I mean, you do drink tea, right?
I do all the time.
Okay. I only have 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Just telling you my inner secrets. Just 1 cup of coffee on the Keurig thing. And then I try to have a couple of cups of tea during the day. And I think it's the best cleanser for my life. So this is a cup and handle as long as this level holds. And then this happens. And if this level breaks, then we have to reconsider what we need to do. So that is a cup, that is a handle, and 9 out of 10 times it breaks out. As long as the internals stay good. Let's keep it simple. So let's look at a stock that I like a lot. It's a very aggressive stock, and guess what it is? Sue, it starts with the R.
Roku?
Yeah. Why do I like Roku? Because it got smashed for no reason. Roku got smashed for no reason. Thank God we were not on the short trade. Roku is, and I'm not looking at the fundamentals of the company and stuff. All I'm simply saying, the stock is going to go to somewhere around the 20-day moving average, which is 149. That's a lot of money. We're already up on Roku nicely. Guys, sometimes you gotta be aggressive. I'm just showing you the daily chart of Roku. This is a what we call a falling wedge, which I know Sue has seen a lot. And one second, it's trying to draw it out. 34-day moving average 138. Stock closed around 134. We're long 135 calls. What more do you want? Right here where it broke down, 145. Imagine if it goes from 134 to 145, you will have 300% return on your options. In the meantime, get ready for major volatility. What's the other stock that I like? I like Facebook. On the daily, we're talking about swing trades here. Right there, we broke out. Do I think it's going to go to 200? Well, if the techs cooperate, yes. Calls are cheap. Go for it. Name another stock you like, Sue.
Well, right now I'm mostly doing index. I didn't do much about individual stocks.
Okay, I like that. I like that opinion. Okay, so which index do you like to look at? SPY?
Yeah. What about Nasdaq QQQ?
Yes, of course. Thank you. And you hit the right nail, Sue. Very smart, because I'm talking about tech stocks, you're talking about tech index. So that's great. Remember one thing. Everyone likes to say, oh my God, the momentum trade is dead, everything. The only thing that makes America great, okay, you know me when I say it, is tax. You don't piss on tax. Tax are the big thing. So if you have a slightly, I believe you're more of a swing trader, Sue, right?
Mostly, but I do like short-term trading
Good.
as
So
well.
you're just like me. You do some big moves, you take the profits down like I do, but generally you keep an eye on the bigger picture, right?
Yes, I'm trying to do that.
Okay. I appreciate honesty, and I hope everyone learns from it. Yes, I like that. So, and ladies and gentlemen, listen to this webinar, because what this lady is saying is exactly what life is all about. She said she's trying to do that. And that is the most honest answer that I appreciate. Honesty in trading is great. I'm trying to perfect my volatility trading and helping everyone else that's happening. So thank you for mentioning that, and I truly appreciate you for saying that, Sue. So here we are. This is the top of the QQQ, and this is what we are. When you look at this chart, forget about 180. We ain't going there till everything falls apart. When you look at this picture, where we are right now, that's a bull flag. There is no question that that's a bull flag right there. You had a big hammer reversal, which happened yesterday. The big hammer, And I'm going to zoom in. Please have patience. Bingo. And today we had that. Now, Sue, to teach all other traders about why this minor reversal hammer happened, what was the stock that did that? One of the major stocks.
Apple, mostly.
Yes, yes, yes. My God, I'm going to have you run the webinars. Seriously. Yes, Apple. You're right. Apple is a major component of the Qs, and this happened. This doji. But let's take a look at the internals. I love it. I know I'm mostly bullish, but still. Nothing's wrong with this. Now let's look like the MACD, which is the real underlying strength of the picture. So I didn't even have to move that thing. Wow, look at that. You know, my actual drawing. Now, when you look at the MACD, does these two lines, which are the percentage K and percentage D, do they look bearish or bullish? These two lines. What's your first opinion, Sue? Are you there? Okay, she might have been disconnected. Sue, are you there? Sue, can you hear me? Okay.
Sue, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm temporarily disconnected.
No, I know. I'm hearing my echo. Just ask you a question. So you can hear me now?
Yes.
Ah, I love it. So when you look at the surging stochastics on the QQQ, right? These two lines, do they look bearish or bullish to you?
Well, still bullish, but
Still bullish with a
are they?
slightly lower on the histograms.
Yes.
And like you correctly said, Apple was one of the causes for this red candle. I will still say, in my own opinion, we're going higher on the techs because the techs are kind of mixed. So I will still say we get to 196 on the QQQs before the market really starts to get overbought. That's my opinion. Let's take a look at the VIX, the first glance. If I showed you a chart like this on a stock, starting on August 5th, would you buy this chart? Just say yes or no.
No, it looks terrible.
I love you from a trading perspective. This looks like a terrible chart. This is a chart that you don't want to buy. All you see, if you're really technical, I'm not saying what's going to happen every 15 minutes, every 30 minutes, every hour. It's all I see is red candles. So the big billion-dollar players, the quant funds, are they really buying this chart? No. Can we have a quick pop on the VIX? Absolutely. I can show that to you on the 1 hour chart. But when you look at this overall picture, this is where the VIX wants to go, which is around 11 to 12. And I believe that's going to happen. Now somebody can say, "Oh, Clueless at Trading, you're a bunch, you're a really idiotic bullish guy." Well, I've been right 80% of the time. So call me what you want. I delivered. Whether you kept the trade or not is not my problem. And that's I say to all members and anyone who's going to hear that. This is a garbage-looking a chart, which is telling me that the VIX is going to go somewhere between 12 and 13. And it's going to happen very soon. In the meantime, the internals are starting to firm up. That means that some VIX players out there are starting to buy the VIX calls, which you can do too. You can always buy some cheap VIX calls as it falls, just the way we buy cheap stocks when they fall. I mean, stocks as they get cheaper. Sure, always have some protection. If VIX calls are $1.20, buy some. If they go to 90 cents, 80 cents, buy some more. Because at one point sooner than later, the VIX is going to pop. But if you are truly a technical person and you don't keep your you keep your emotions in check, this does not look good. When it starts to turn, that's a different story. So definitively have some VIX calls in your portfolios. Whether they're 30 cents, 40 cents, you think the VIX is going to go to 18, think it's going to 21 because the China deal is going to fall apart, which I don't think it will, then buy some VIX calls just in case it falls apart. The VIX is going to move like this, and you're going to make 100 to 150% on your money. You will. So always have some insurance. That's what insurance is all about. If your house doesn't burn down, if your car doesn't get in a crash, that's lost money. God knows how much I pay for insurance for all our cars. And we have some nice cars. VIX is insurance. Always stay insured. But that shouldn't determine what you are trading on the long end. I still believe that the majority of Wall Street, my ex-career, are bearish. Majority of brokers, always stay insured, are bearish. Majority of my members are still bearish. That's all I have to say. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, futures are up about 4, 3.5. We will connect tomorrow. And feel free to connect with me anytime you want. On DM, on Twitter, in the public chat room that no one visits anymore because it's such a lovely summer out there. Everyone's trading off their iPhones. I don't know what they're doing. Okay, doesn't matter. If nobody's in the chat room, I have more time to post real stuff. Stay flexible, stay humble, stay clueless, and that's all I have to say. Have a great evening, and Sue, thank you so much for being here. Good night.
And thank you too.